practice Urdhva Hastasana with a strap. So take the strap in your hands at about shoulder width apart, feet parallel, legs under you and engaged, and then lift the arms up and overhead. Imagine the outer thighs and outer hips gathering in towards the midline. Lift the toes to lift the arches of the feet and draw the musculature of the legs up from ankles to knees to hips. Lift the low belly and stretch long through the waist, stretch long through the armpits. Let the arms go back a little more as the shoulder blades snuggle forward into the rib cage. Let the inner shoulder blades go down as you get taller in the spine, ascending the central axis of the trunk, up through the top of the head. Active arms, active legs. Breathing here. And then exhale and lower your arms down. Now we'll practice side angle pose. Start in Tadasana with feet together. And then bring your hands onto your hips and step your feet wide. Have your toes pointing in so the heels are a little wider than toes. Long spine, shoulders back. And then turn the right leg all the way out and the left toes in a little more. Shoulders to the back of the shoulder sockets, long in the waist, and then bend the right knee deeply. Rest the right forearm onto the right thigh and get long from the left heel all the way through the top of the head. So the trunk is on a diagonal here, lengthening in line with the back leg, which is straight and extended. And then lift the left arm to the ceiling to help you open the left ribs. Think of lifting the belly to the ceiling. And think of grounding that right sitting bone forward towards the right groin. So the buttocks is not reaching back behind you. And then take the top arm all the way up and across, gazing at the top hand, and find a nice long line of energy from back heel all the way up through the top hand. And then inhale and lift yourself out of the pose, straightening the legs, hands to hips and change sides, turning the left leg all the way out, turn the right toes even more in, shoulders back, long spine, bend the left knee deeply, rest the left forearm onto the left thigh, and open the right shoulder so that the front of your trunk is pointing straight forward. Long line from the back heel, extended in the back leg, and all the way through the spine, through the top of the head. And then lift the right arm up, lift the belly to the ceiling, open the right ribs, drop the left butt cheek down and under you, and ground the center of that left butt cheek forward towards the groin. Strong in the back leg. Ground the right thigh back in space as you extend the knee. And then take that top arm all the way across so that it continues that diagonal line, gazing at the top palm. Strong in the back leg. Very bent in the front knee. Lifted in the low belly. And turn the right ribs open towards the ceiling. Gather the left butt cheek more underneath you. And then inhale and come all the way up to straight legs, arms extending to the sides, hands to hips, feet parallel. Recover with an open chest, and then step your feet together. And now for another version of Shalabhasana. So be on your belly, stretched out long. Lengthen your rib cage forward, lengthen your legs back, and then stretch your arms forwards. And once again, adjust your legs so that your legs are really reaching back and so the arms are reaching forward. So you should feel nice and long here, laid out on the ground. prone position, belly down. And now start to lift your right arm and left leg up. So stay grounded in that right leg, stay grounded in the left hand. Lift the chest up as well, and get longer in that right arm and longer in that left leg. And then slowly lower down and switch sides. Now lifting the left arm up and the right leg up. Stay grounded in that right hand, stay grounded in the left leg and left top of foot, lifting the chest, lengthening the limbs here. And then exhale and release down. And again, lifting the right arm and the left leg. Anchor your tailbone down towards the sticky mat. Lengthen the right arm forward and the left leg back. Extended elbow, extended knee. And lower down. And again, lift the left arm and the right leg up. Reach the left arm forward and the right leg back. Lengthen the limbs. And exhale and come down. Now lay down on your belly for Shalavasana, and one at a time reach your legs back so that you set yourself up very long on the floor. Take your hands by your hips, forehead down, and then start to lift the shoulders up towards the ceiling. Lift your legs, lift the wrists, reach your chest forward, reach your legs back, and pull the arms back as you stretch your spine forwards. Anchor your tailbone down. Lift the inner thighs, stretch the knees, open the toes, and lift those outer arms up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, release down, resting your head to one side. And then turn your head and rest the other cheek down on the ground. Release and relax the buttocks. Now lay down on your belly for Shalavasana, and one at a time reach your legs back so that you set yourself up very long on the floor. Take your hands by your hips, forehead down, and then start to lift the shoulders up towards the ceiling. Lift your legs, lift the wrists. Reach your chest forward, reach your legs back, and pull the arms back as you stretch your spine forwards. Anchor your tailbone down. Lift the inner thighs, stretch the knees, open the toes, and lift those outer arms up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, release down, resting your head to one side. And then turn your head and rest the other cheek down on the ground. Release and relax the buttocks. And now lay down on your back for a pose that I call windshield wiper. Have your knees bent and feet flat, feet pretty wide, wider than the sitting bones. Neutral pelvis, neutral spine. Stretch your arms out to the sides at shoulder height, and then walk your feet even closer to your sitting bones and even wider. And then keeping your feet planted, lower your knees down to the right. And enjoy this gentle twist as the right knee falls more to the right and the left knee falls more to the right. Slide your shoulder blades down your back and lengthen your spine. And feel the position of the pelvis relative to the spine, and feel the position of each femur relative to the hip sockets. And then lift your knees back up to the center, feet staying grounded, and lower the knees over to the left side, letting the femurs move in the hip sockets. Left knee heavy falling to the left, right knee heavy falling to the left. And enjoy the spinal twist. Get longer in your trunk here as you breathe. And then inhale back to the center and exhale your knees over to the right side. Inhale your knees up to the center and exhale the knees over to the left side. And then inhale back up and continue like this, moving and breathing together. And especially focus on the movement of the heads of the femurs in the hip sockets. Continuing. And see if you can go a little deeper into the pose in the next couple of rounds. And then come up to center. And start on your back again here for a simple outer hip stretch. Knees bent and feet flat, starting with a neutral pelvis. And for a moment, take your arms overhead along the floor, lengthen the armpits and the elbows. Extend the spine long and take a deep inhalation. Let the pelvis be heavy and relaxed. Be grounded in your feet. And then take your arms out to the sides and cross your right ankle over your left knee. And let the right knee open out to the right. And then lift the left foot up off the floor, which will bring your whole right leg closer to your chest. And then grab onto the back of the left thigh, so grab onto the hamstring close to the knee with both of your hands. So the right hand will go in the hole between the right leg and the left leg. And think of pressing your right knee away from your chest as you bring the right shin bone towards your collarbones. Press the right thigh away from the abdomen. And breathe into this sensation here. Pull your left knee and right ankle closer into your chest to deepen the stretch. Still pressing the right thigh and knee away from your chest. And then release and come to center, both feet on the mat, arms out to the sides, and cross the left ankle over the right knee, keeping the left knee open. And then start to take the right knee and left ankle towards the chest as you grab onto the right hamstring with both hands, left arm reaching in the hole between the left thigh and the right thigh. And keep pressing the left knee away from you. And that's happening because the femur is turning in the hip socket. So you're finding a deep external rotation in the hip socket in order to stretch the deep hip rotators. And pull the right knee and left ankle closer into your chest. Stay long in your spine here. Don't harden or push the abdomen, but stay long in the lumbar, long in the thoracic spine. Breathing deeply here. Breathing into the sensations, relaxing into the stretch that you feel. And then release the right foot down and the left foot down. Stretch your arms out to the sides. Relax and lengthen the belly. Rest in neutral. Now we'll practice a simple groin stretch. Start on your back with a neutral pelvis, neutral spine, knees bent and feet flat. Legs are parallel, and stretch your arms overhead. Lengthen out through the arms. And then stretch the legs as well and roll the thighs internally so the fronts of your legs point straight up to the ceiling. And be very long in your limbs and in your trunk here, creating length. And then keep that length in the trunk, in the left leg, and bring the right knee towards the chest, towards the right side of the chest, even towards the right armpit. And grab onto the right knee with both hands and clasped fingers. And stay long in the abdomen, long in the spine. Extend long through that left leg, roll the left thigh in, and ground the left thigh bone down towards the floor. And then grab the right knee with your right hand only, as you see here, and start to pull your right knee out to the right. Stretch your left arm to the left at shoulder height, and open up that right knee out to the side. Stay long in the left leg. And play with moving around that right knee up towards the armpit, down towards hip level. And see if you can explore a groin inner thigh stretch here as the right knee opens out to the right. And then bring the knee back to center and pause here. And then stretch your right leg out, lengthening it out as you bring your left knee towards the left side of your chest. And grab onto the top of the left shin with clasped fingers. And pull the left knee towards the left armpit as you stretch the right leg more. Internally rotate, especially at the very top of the right thigh, and ground the right thigh down. Stay awake in your feet, toes spreading. Long spine. Don't let your abdomen become hardened. A receding, long abdomen. Open chest, shoulder blades sliding down your back. And then stretch the right arm to the right as you take the left knee in the left hand only and start to pull the knee over to the left so the knee stays bent. And you open that left knee out to the left, staying active in your right leg. And play with some movement here, taking your left knee up towards the armpit or down towards hip level. Explore the range of motion here as you enjoy the groin opening. Reach the inner right foot forward and take your knee out to the side even more, deepening the stretch. And then take your knee back to the center. And then place your left foot down. Bend your right knee and place your right foot down. Now we'll practice Supta Padangustasana. So have a strap nearby and lay down on your back. Adjust the flesh of your buttocks so that it moves away from the lower back towards the feet. Have your knees bent and feet flat, and then extend your arms overhead. Lengthen the arms and lengthen the trunk. Lengthen the front of the spine. Relaxed long belly. Open rib cage. Soft in the back of the throat. Neutral pelvis. And then grab your strap and lasso the right heel with the strap. And start to extend your right leg so that it's up at 90 degrees. And if this is difficult for you, you can keep your knee bent. And then start to extend the left leg. Make sure that the left leg is internally rotating just enough so that the midline of the front of your left leg is pointing straight up. And then think of the center of the left thigh grounding and the center of the right thigh moving away from the belly. Stay long and even in the belly. Shoulder blades slide down the back. Heads of the humerus bones ground towards the sticky mat. Open in the chest as you breathe. Long spine, open chest, extended legs, and reach the right heel straight up towards the ceiling. The top half of the right thigh is pulling away from the right side of the abdomen. The outer right hip is pulling away from the right waist. Internally rotate the left thigh and ground it down. Extend through the inner left foot. And then you can start to let the elbows bend out to the sides and pull the right ankle a little bit closer to your head as the top of the right thigh moves towards the left foot. So that right leg is like a seesaw. If the foot moves towards the head, then the top of the leg moves away from the head. Enjoy the stretch here, long spine. And then release, and we'll switch sides. But before we take the left leg up, just rest the strap on your belly and extend your arms along the floor overhead, lengthening there. Just take a breath. And then lasso the left heel with the strap, kicking the left heel up towards the ceiling. Again, taking a bent knee if that helps you keep your pelvis neutral. You don't want to tuck your pelvis here at all. And then extend the right leg long, internally rotating the right leg a bit, grounding down through that right thigh. Pull the outer left hip away from the left waist. Shoulder blades down the back, long spine, relaxed long belly, elbows wide. Kick the left heel up. Ground the center of the right thigh down. Ground the center of the left thigh away from the abdomen. So that left waist and left side of the abdomen is very long. And if you start to pull the left ankle a little more towards the head, make sure that the root of the left leg pulls away from the abdomen towards the right foot. Long spine, open breath, relaxed throat, relaxing in the groins. Find an internal rotation in the legs and relaxed groins. A neutral pelvis here as much as possible, active in the extension of the knees. And then bend your knees, feet flat. Bring your arms up and overhead to extend through the elbows and extend through the waist. And now we'll practice Supta Padangustasana 4. We'll go part way first and then full way. So have your strap nearby, extend your arms, extend your legs, roll the thighs inwards a little bit, ground the thighs. And then keep that sense of length in your trunk as you lasso the right heel. Extend the right leg all the way up to the ceiling. And extend the left leg along the floor. Long in the low belly, outer right hip moves away from the right waist. You can have a bent right knee here if that's better for you. Long spine. And then grab onto the strap with the left hand only and take your right hand onto the outer right thigh hip area. And see if you can pull that outer right thigh and hip area away from the right waist. And keep that happening as you extend the right arm out to the right and let the right leg move over to the left, just about a foot. So you're starting to cross the leg over towards the left side, keeping extended in that right knee, keeping long in the right waist. And then come back to center and we'll switch sides. Now lassoing the left heel. Reach the left leg up, again bending the knee if that's better for you. And extend the right leg long, profound internal rotation at the very top of that right thigh to keep the groin relaxed. Long belly, long in the front of the spine, elbows wide, shoulder blades sliding down the back. And then grab onto the strap very close to the foot with the right hand only. And the left hand will come to the outer left hip and thigh, encouraging that outer left hip to move away from the left waist, staying long in the left waist. And extend your left arm out to the left as you pull the leg over to the right side, just about a foot. Stay open in the backs of the knees, pulling that leg across the body, but not too much, so the sacrum should stay grounded. Enjoying the stretch in the outer thigh here. And then come back to center. And then release, bending both knees, feet flat. Reach your arms overhead and then stretch both your legs out, internally rotating at the tops of the thighs, lengthening through the arms, stretching the knees and the elbows. Now we'll practice happy baby pose. So be on your back with knees bent and feet flat on the floor. Neutral pelvis, neutral spine. Take a breath here. And then bring your knees into your chest with nice wide knees, so the knees are wider than the rib cage. And then take your arms out to the sides and up and grab onto the outer edges of the feet as you see here. And you can play a little bit in this pose, pulling the right knee down a little bit towards the right armpit and then pulling the left knee down towards the left armpit. You can play with changing the tilt of your pelvis. Make sure that you keep your knees at an angle of about 90 degrees. Don't let your knees close up. So the heels should kick away from the sitting bones. And enjoy this deep fold in the hip creases. Let the lower back relax and release here. Pull those outer feet down and stretch the inner feet up towards the ceiling. Nice long spine, open breath. And then release and let your feet come down to the floor, one leg at a time. Stretch your arms overhead along the floor. Get long in your trunk and then release your legs down one at a time so that you're all stretched out here. Straight arms and straight legs, parallel arms and legs. Roll your thighs in, lengthen the inner feet forward. And once again, come to rest. Now we'll practice Shavasana. So we'll have a bolster to support you underneath the knees and thighs. And have a spread out blanket on the head side as you see here. So lay down and adjust the flesh of the buttocks so that it's moving away from the lower back. And then start to roll up your blanket so that we'll have this nice roll of support underneath the neck. And then slide your shoulder blades down your back and release the arms so the palms are face up. And once you feel fairly organized here, then really relax and release.